Foxglove friends, welcome to today's reading. I am Rosalind and this is Foxglove Coaching Spiritual Guidance. So today we're going to look at what is coming up in the week ahead. And we've just had the equinox, so depending on which hemisphere you're in, that will have been the spring or the autumn equinox. And as part of that, I decided to use this lovely little tray to present my cards today because it's got little hares. I think they're hares. They may be a rabbit. I'm going to go with hares and all lovely things on it. So there are 3 piles to choose from today, and the timestamps are in the description as always. We have got pile 1, which is the cherry. We have got pile 2, which is white mulberry. And we have got pile 3, which is hazel. So this is all about what's coming up in the week ahead. And it can be any week. You can watch this at any time. Just take a few moments, take a few deep breaths, see which one's calling out to you. And I will see you in your reading, Foxglove friend. Hello, pile 1. So you have chosen the cherry card. So this card tends to represent purity, but also, as I mentioned in the introduction, we're just stepping into, in the northern hemisphere, into the we've just had the spring equinox, and what a perfect tree to represent new beginnings, the newness of spring coming in. So my cherry blossom is actually in flower fully in the garden at the moment with its lovely pink flowers. This card can advise you not to worry about things, not to grab onto anxieties, but to recognise new beginnings and the beauty of life and the beauty of cycles. So as winter ends, maybe something is ending in your life, or you're just stepping into a new beginning. Well, when you're stepping into a new beginning, a phase usually has ended in your life. But this is also about the mountain here. Cherry blossom represents a goddess who looks after Mount Fuji as well, and sometimes they use this tree to help protect from volcanoes. So it can be to utilising the softness and the compassion and the gentleness and the beauty to get through life and to go with the flow of new beginnings can help prevent eruptions. So that's part of why you want to step away from anxiety and worry, because that can lead to pressure that can then erupt into something a bit more volatile, if you like. So let's have a look in more detail about what is coming up for you this week. So maybe there is a new beginning for you. Maybe you are just starting, or have just started a new job or a new phase of your life. The ritual of Sakura shows us that there is beauty in every day. Every day is a new beginning, and we can start again. With every in-breath is the new beginning, and with every out-breath is the release of the old. So things ebb and flow, Foxglove friend, and it's to appreciate the wonder of life that is represented in the cycles of things. So, Spirit, what is coming up for pile 1? What is happening for them this week, please? Oh, we've got the 10 of Pentacles. So maybe it is a new job going on, but basically 10 of Pentacles tends to be about financial positivity, like you're stable financially. Let's have a look what the cards around it are. 7 of Pentacles, so you're working on something, and this is about making sure that you continue to work on it. Don't give up at the moment, because it's growing. It may not have fully flourished yet, but it is growing. So again, This could be a project, or a business, or the fact that you've stepped into a new job that pays more money, and you're working on it to grow this, your role and things. We've got defence and balance with chaga. Interestingly, I've just been looking at these in the woods near me. So this is a silver birch tree, and there's a big mushroom growing off it. And I've been looking at those like fairy steps. Fairy steps. And what I'd say as it comes into mind with fairy steps, because they grow up like steps. This might not be the same mushroom, but it's the same thing that I'm seeing down in the woods. As steps go on there, fairy steps are small. So this is all about taking small steps, so that there's balance in your life. A lot of the time, if something new comes into being, and maybe if it is a new job or a new home, I might even say for some of you, we want to get everything done immediately, and we're like, yeah, I really want to, achieve things and make things happen. But this can be very much about taking small steps to make bigger things happen. What is coming in the week ahead for pile 1, please, Spirit? Thankfulness for understanding, hydrangea. Before we can forgive one another, we have to understand one another. So maybe you're working with new people, engaging with new people. Sorry, I had to pause it for a minute because lots of cars went by and it set Luna off. You may be feeling a little bit defensive of the people around you. Maybe you're finding things a little bit overwhelming, or you haven't got the energy to do everything that you want to do, or maybe if you're with a lot of other people and you're trying to learn who they are and the truth of who they are, and watching if they're being nice or not nice or whatever, as you're going through this working environment and this new beginning within that. Maybe you've got a new team, or just a new set of people around you. Maybe you've got new neighbours even. The element here is saying it's very important to understand those people, but you don't have to. Find the balance with how much energy you give, Foxglove friend. So it's important that you save enough for yourself so that your mental health is well, so that your energy levels are well, and to find that balance within, even if things are super busy and you're working really hard and there's a lot going on around you. So let me get some more, Spirit. What is coming up for pile 1 this week? Illumination. Interesting, because that ties in very much with the understanding. So things are going to come to light this week, Foxglove friend. As you may have been feeling a little bit defensive or a little bit unsure of what's going on, things are going to come to light. Stuff's going to come out of the woodwork, if you like, so that you will start to understand the truth of the situation that you're in. You'll start to get clarity around how you need to apply yourself in the best way. Yeah, and you're going to start having all sorts of ideas. You may already have lots of ideas. You may find that some of the people around you are quite sensitive, or a bit youthful. No matter what age they are, there may be a lack of emotional maturity, and you're going to see the vulnerability within the people around you as you choose to understand them, rather than being closed off so much from them. Let's have a look at what else have we got. Spirit, what else is coming in the week ahead, please? You may have neurodivergent people around you, or you may find that you are, if you've got ADHD, or if you're on the spectrum at all, maybe you're trying to understand what's going on as you're building this new beginning and working on these things. Sweet orange, that looks lovely, doesn't it? So this is showing that all the ideas that you've been having and all these, you know, we've got the whole pigs might fly element here, and like flying high as you are illuminated, and maybe part of this is to do with you shining in this new environment that you're stepping in, because your energy is going to really shake things up. You're going to inspire other people. It's going to be infectious, like they can't wait to get on board with what you're saying, and it's going to give them new ideas. There's going to be some sort of understanding about what it is that you can actually achieve. So I want to have a look. So this sounds lovely. It sounds full on, potentially, but this new beginning, this new change that's to do with financial, material, and growing your life and growing your working experience, or growing a team maybe. This is all positive, all really good, even if it feels like you haven't got the energy or the stamina to keep up with it all. It's allowing you to shine, to be seen, and for you to see the truth this week. You'll start to have, you know, all these ideas. Let's see what this is doing for you. What is this doing for pile 1 this week, please, Foxglove friend? So it seems like it's going to be quite an exciting, if not slightly tiring week. The Magician. So this is all to do with what you're manifesting. You have made this happen. It's giving you opportunity to create a world of your own that you want to be in. Spirit, what is this doing for pile 1, please? 8 of Wands. Interesting. That can often be where things are happening at speed. Maybe life is picking up. Bringing more action to your life, more, maybe, you know, you were slightly dormant if you're coming out of the winter period of your life, or a winter phase of your life. Maybe things were a bit asleep, whereas this is certainly waking things up. This week things are really going to wake up, and maybe you're going through this, you know, you might have seen this phase coming already, but life is going to go fast. Life is going to be more positive, and you need to go with the flow and face things head on. Let's have a look at, so I want to get some advice for you. Spirit, can we have some advice for pile 1, please? Pause. Pause next to one of the fastest cards in the pack. So remember to just take a moment. Don't get swirled up in the rapids of life and carried along, because sometimes if you don't leave yourself a gap, no matter how good things are or how busy things are, if you don't allow yourself a gap to breathe and take a moment, life can turn into a tick boxing exercise. It can, you know, you can start to become resentful, frustrated, angry. You can start to shut off from your heart space. So find moments, put moments in your diary that allow you to have a little bit of you time, that allow you to engage with nature, to take in the beauty of nature. When we go into nature and we listen to the birds and we breathe, you know, the sensing, it starts to calm our nervous system. It tells our nervous system that we're not in panic mode. And I think that's maybe what you need to do, because as things go fast and as you're growing this project or whatever it is that you're engaging with, if you're growing a team or growing a home or a business or something where it's financially based, you need to enjoy it to some degree. Rome wasn't built in a day, is what I keep being told at the minute. So I'm going to pass that information on to you as well, one step at a time. What other advice have we got? Speak from your heart. Yeah, so don't be afraid to be honest. Don't be afraid to be the truth of who you are. Don't be afraid to not only show who you are fully and shine, but also shine the light of love on this situation with understanding, being thankful, being grateful, being in the right energy as you go through this, so that people are see the real you and feel the positive aspects of you. It'll make the flow go much easier if you are willing to openly speak your truth from your heart rather than being too logical. Surround yourself every day with love. Yeah, take the time. I think the thing is here, it could be very easy for you to slide into a logical shut off space where you might become defensive because your energy is being drawn on too much, because you're having to give so much energy to this as life wakes up for you. And it's very much about life waking up for you this week. Sorry, I have to keep pausing this because Luna keeps barking, because life is going on so much around me and everybody's banging doors and driving off and doing all sorts of things. It's not usually quite so chaotic. But yeah, it's important to stay in a loving space, to take time to breathe and to enjoy this, because it's bringing life. You know, when the birds are making the nests, they're very focused, but they're still exactly who they are. They're still the little birds that they are, happily doing what they're doing. That's what I'm going to say. That's what's just come to mind, Foxglove friend. Stay true to who you are. Stay true to your heart space, and it will certainly help you to navigate through this. I want to get one more card for you, Foxglove friend. It's a very exciting week, but it's important to manage your energy, to stay in the beauty of life, to stay in the beauty of your heart, and to allow yourself to talk openly about all your ideas in a positive way, and you'll be a huge inspiration to others, Foxglove friend. Clear out the old. Yes, this ties in perfectly, because as we're coming into the new, this is a very new time for you. It's a new energy for you, Foxglove friend. So just let go of anything from the past. You know, if things have been difficult in a similar scenario in the past, don't let that get to you, because it's not the same. This is not going to be the same as it has been previously in any other scenario. This is a very new world you're stepping into, and it's positive and it's full of fun and light and ideas and energy and that kind of life force when life starts to wake up again. So don't hold on to what's old and stagnant. Allow that to release from you. And I love the fact that we've got all the dandelion clock there with all the wishes. We've got a shooting star here. There's a lot here about wishes coming true. You know, what are you wishing for as you go forward? Focus on what can be. There's a keyhole there with the access to a beautiful island and a beautiful world. This is a doorway for you. You're stepping into a new world, and allow yourself to enjoy that. I've got Stonehenge there as well, which is absolutely awesome. So Foxglove friend, have a wonderful week. It looks like it's going to be good. Make sure you just take time to manage your energy, and because with the planetary changes at the minute, things are getting pretty intense. But this is opening a whole new world for you, and you're manifesting a new world, and it's a positive thing. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this reading, please do click on like and subscribe, because I'd love to see you again. Bye bye. Hello pal 2, welcome to today's reading. You have chosen the White Mulberry card. Now this tends to be about finding harmony between either you and other people, and the animals in your life, you and nature, even if something's perplexing you. So maybe if you've got a pet that's behaving in a weird way and you're going, why are you behaving like that? Just allow yourself to try and stay in a positive state and to learn as much as you can about them. If you've got people that you're confused by and can't understand their behavior, or family members or friends or spouses, or loved ones, this is the week where it's asking you to kind of not go in feeling all angry or shouting or arguing or getting upset or anything like that, but just observe rather than absorbing what's going on, and try to respect the differences between other beings and people, with a loving heart, or at least the willingness to have harmony within life, so that you're not embracing or buying into drama or ego elements. It's about finding how to live in balance and harmony with other beings around you. So let's get more detail about what's going on. So this sounds terribly interesting. We've got the High Priestess. So you may be quite an intuitive or sensitive person. You may be receiving dreams as we go forward in this week. You may be somebody who is naturally psychic or spiritually aware. So you might be picking up on things that other people aren't, and kind of going, well, everybody seems to love that person, but I don't feel right about them at all. They feel like their energy doesn't feel right to me. There's those times in life when you've got heightened senses and you're more aware intuitively of the energies around you. Two of Cups. So this might be to do with one particular either romantic relationship or a close friendship. Let's have a look. Sometimes sometimes when we're so attuned to somebody because we're in a romantic relationship with them, or we've spent a lot of time with them, or we've just been open to engaging with them, we can feel when somebody is being dishonest or not open with us or hiding their emotions, and that can be to different levels of extreme. So for some people it's if somebody's keeping a secret from you. For some of us it's if somebody shuts down emotionally and becomes emotionally unavailable. It can be quite difficult when you can feel and you can sense that something is going on with the other person and you just can't tangibly or logically understand why, because they're maybe not speaking to your whole heart, openly. They maybe not say it, and sometimes that's because they don't understand it themselves. We expect people to really understand themselves, and quite often they don't. They go through these emotions and just react to their emotions and don't always understand why that is. Perhaps you've got a teenager, who keeps going and shutting themselves away in their bedroom, and you're like, what is going on? But they're totally shut off. We've got Violet Coral, which is about the community that we live in and the community that you live in. So let me just get another card. What's going on this week for pile 2, please? Crocus, cheerfulness. It is spring again. Yes, indeed, if you're in the northern hemisphere, the earth is like a child that knows poems by heart. This is interesting that it refers to children again. So maybe take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. But maybe if you've got a younger person in your life who you can feel, or that might be what's coming up this week, that you're recognising that something's going on with them that's weird, but they just won't tell you what's actually happening. We maybe need to just harmonise the situation rather than reacting. So it's important not to mirror somebody's behaviour. Sometimes when, whether it's an adult or a child, when somebody behaves a certain way to us, certainly if they shut us off, if you've got attachment or abandonment kind of issues, or even if you haven't really, when somebody shuts you out, it can feel really horrible, very isolating, very like you're excluded, like, it can feel quite lonely, and depending what's going on with you and what's happened in your past, that can be quite triggering. And we can want to respond or react to that because we don't like it and it feels hurtful. But the thing is to stay light about what's going on in this week ahead, to stay as light and as bright and light-hearted, I want to say. Don't take it too seriously. And we've also got with the violet coral card that it's important for you to continue to be who you are. So try to maintain the integrity of who you are, as things, as you start to wonder what's going on with other people. Don't allow your energy to chase anybody else. Sometimes if something's going on with somebody else and we feel like we don't trust them, or we feel like they've shut off from us, or we're uncomfortable, it draws us in to fully focus on that person all the time, only because we're wanting the honesty and the connection again. For you in this week ahead, Foxglove friend, you focus on you. Focus on keeping your spiritual energy cleansed and clear and balanced. If you need to cut the cords briefly, that's never going to hurt. Sometimes it helps things just to cut the energetic cords so that you can live in the space of who you are and maintain who you are, so that you can stay in a happy state of mind, because then that enables the other person to come out of themselves and to reveal what's going on with them. Whereas if you chase them and you're kind of asking them what's wrong, they tend to shut down even more. Let me get I want another card for you. Let's do this one. Spirit, what's going on for pile 2 in the week ahead, please? The energy in this is really quite beautiful, though. The energy of you is quite beautiful. Interesting. We've got to make a decision here. And it's a very busy card. I want to show you that because it's so lovely. We've got all the jungle kind of animals there, parrots, and that's a leopard, I think. And then this is almost Egyptian, so there's a lot to do with travel here. That one almost looks either Venetian or South American. There's quite a bit to do with travel here. So the decision might be to do with that you want to go on a trip and want to travel to places to explore more, and maybe maybe you need to make that decision in your own mind without consulting other people. I'm just going to have a little look in the book to get the full meaning of this. So it says, your sheer determination with this card is highlighted at this time. Your spirit will support your desires and manifestations. The ability to create or destroy has always been within your skill base. You have the wisdom and confidence needed to use these skills constructively. Now is the time to act. If you know what it is you want to accomplish and why, since the powers of transformation are at your command, change your desires into objectives, your thoughts into actions, your goals into achievements. If you have recently met with failure, know you can change that failure into success. The only limits you have are those you impose on yourself. So that is very interesting. This may be advice that you need to, kind of show someone in your world that they are able to open up and do whatever they want, that they can travel the world, that they can experience all things in life. Maybe they need that inspiration, but also it's for you to embrace the fact that you can be and do who, we've got twice here. It's very important to be who you truly are without hiding who you are or changing who you are for anybody else, and to embrace the big wide world and to allow yourself to experience and enjoy all the gifts and the pleasures that life has to offer, but also that you can manifest the life that you want. So to believe in yourself and to believe in that. Right, hold on, I want to put that there. What else is coming up for, I don't know which card I want. What else is coming up for pile 2, please, Spirit? Oh, that one flew out. Oh, interesting. Hazel, which is pile 3's card. That's very interesting indeed. So the Hazel card is about making sure that you're not getting caught up in somebody else's stuff. About recognising where your emotional and mental boundaries lie, particularly when dealing with other people, which is really, really interesting because that's kind of what's coming out here. Make sure you're true to yourself. Make sure that you keep your energy cleansed. Make sure that you do what makes you happy, and make sure that you're aware that the whole world is your oyster and that you can travel and go wherever you want, that you can be whatever you want, that you can enjoy all the pleasures of the world. Don't let somebody else's shadow side impact on you in a negative way. They've got to get on with it, really. Let me, what else? Let me get, I'm going to get some advice for you. Spirit, can we get some more advice? So I feel like this might be a slightly challenging week coming up to do with some sort of relationship. Because somebody just isn't opening up to you in the way that you'd like, or you feel like they're not being honest. Celebrate the journey, not the destination. However, it's important to I feel like you need to not get too caught up in the drama of what it might seem, because this could pass. So if somebody does go to ground emotionally, which, sometimes I'll do if I'm feeling upset about something, I just need a bit of space. But then you can feel shut out, which can make you feel stressed and upset. But this is about not taking things too seriously this week. Just make sure that you are truly in alignment with yourself rather than affected by others too much. Oops, I've got loads falling out. Be loving and kind to all. So, like the indomitable spirit, making sure that you continue to stay in your heart space and be true to who you are. Connect with the earth's healing energy and make sure that you're grounded and that you're getting the sustenance in life that you need. Spirit, what else do we want pile 2 to know, please? Everything's flying out. We've got thankfulness for understanding. Before we can forgive one another, we have to understand one another. So yes, I think at some point the understanding will come. You'll start to recognise what's going on with this other person. And then we've also got blissful pleasure. Follow your bliss and the universe will open doors where there were only walls. We keep getting that a lot through this reading. It's important that you do whatever makes you happy in this week ahead. Focus on you. Focus on what's making you happy. There's all these beautiful things available for you. And allow this to come to light, to understand more as and when it comes. I do feel like this is a week of focusing on yourself, Foxglove friend, interestingly, in a positive and joyous way, so that you don't take on negative aspects that other people are going through, because that's kind of their battles to sometimes people need to deal with their own battle. Yeah, we've got crocus twice now, interestingly, and crocuses, come up when things are a bit dark and wintry sometimes, and still bloom and blossom, and the big picture. So it's important. The big picture is showing us, again, as we've said with this, don't react too strongly to anything that might seem negative. Just allow things to go through their processes. If somebody's, feeling a bit moody or a little bit detached, or just allow them to go through that and stay kind in your heart. Be kind to them. Don't be reactive because you're not getting what you want out of them, or they're not behaving in a way that makes you feel comfortable. Rise above any ego elements this week and find your joy in the moment, and with potential for what you want to do. If you're interested in travel, or if you are, maybe you are traveling, if you've had to leave your person in some way and you've had to go on a journey, just take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. Maybe you're feeling that distance and it makes you feel a bit uncomfortable. Enjoy the moment that you're in, whatever you're doing this week, Foxglove friend. And if you're thinking of booking a trip, you can, make decisions about how you want things to be in the future. And maybe if there's trips that are coming up for you, you can make decisions to actually go on them. But recognise that this is all part of the journey. This isn't as big a deal. Like, don't go into the panic of, oh, we're going to break up because, things are difficult, or, oh, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. Just take it easy on yourself and look for the joy in life and look for the pleasure in life, and see this as part of the dynamics of close relationships. There are peaks and troughs, and it goes up and down, and people have their moments, and just accept and be kind to everybody involved, Foxglove friends. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this resonated. If you like this reading, please do click on like and subscribe, because I'd love to see you again, Foxglove friend. Bye bye. Hello, pile 3. You have chosen the lovely Hazel card. And interestingly, the Hazel card is very much about understanding where your emotional boundaries are, where your mental boundaries are, about not getting involved in things that aren't to do with you, so that you're not, losing energy buying into other people's issues if they're not for you to deal with. Knowing where you're applying your energy and how you're applying your energy, so that you have enough energy for yourself, but also you're not wasting your energy on anything that you shouldn't be getting involved in for your best and highest good. So let's have a look more specifically. Spirit, what is coming in this week for pile 3, please? Death and rebirth. Wow, interesting. So that's quite a big major card to have going on this week. Let's have a look what else is coming in. I'll get a picture. Queen of Pentacles. Interesting again, because so that can be to do with generosity. Somebody who is generous of spirit, and given the fact that you've just had this card here, maybe somebody is going through a scenario, or you're going through a scenario where you're starting to understand how much you're giving and what is healthy for you to give. So if you keep giving to other people by way of listening to them, by way of being on call if they've got issues, by way of providing things or money, or all those benevolent, there we go, traits in certain ways, you may find that this week, as we go through, you're needing to change how you're dealing with that, because you might find that you start to become, well, maybe it's just not the right thing for you. Maybe you need to be focusing on yourself a little bit more. Page of Swords. Interesting. That can be quite fast moving, the Page of Swords. But this generally is about being very focused. So you see, like, this person's got all these light bulb moments, and they've got their head in a book because they can be absolutely obsessively focused about studying and learning and what they want to do. So maybe you're needing to save your energy so you can apply yourself to different things that are more logical. Let's have a look. I want some more. This can sometimes be representative of more of an autistic nature. So you know, when people, an autistic trait can sometimes be to get quite fixated on something, to get quite fixated on an idea or something that needs to be resolved or focused on. We've got laughter here, so this is very interesting, Foxglove friend, because it's almost like, it feels a bit like that, bit or more like that. Let's do that, up and down and all over the shop, because you've got the lightness coming through with the laughter. Gentian, interesting. Power and healing. To get what you love, you first have to be patient with what you have. Yeah, gentian can be is a bark flower remedy, or flower remedy. So you can get little bottles. I've got one. It's over there somewhere. Of gentian, and that can help you to bounce back in life a bit if you've had a bit of a knockback or a setback somehow. So initially, this is seems quite a complex one. I'm just having to think where to start with this. So we've got that something has died away and you're stepping into a new way of being. Now, whether this is literally somebody or something that's died away, or whether it's just a phase of your life that's passing, you may be coming through an area where you used to give everything that you'd got. I feel like there is a lot where you're giving everything you've got in all sorts of ways, whether it's logically, whether it's emotionally, financially, benevolently, but you need a bit of space to come back to you. You may be sort of drained by how much you're focusing on things or how much you're giving to other people in certain ways. And you need to, I nearly said stop, but reduce how much you're giving of yourself so that you can have a lighter experience in life this week, so that you can give yourself time to have fun. If you've been studying, maybe take a little break so that you can have more fun, so that it's like you've squashed yourself in support of others and from what you've been needing to do, and you need to embrace the inner child element of you this week, Foxglove friend. Let me get some more cards about what's going on. Spirit, what's coming up for pile 3 this week, please? You need to give yourself some time to heal a little bit. So we've got the King Oyster Substance card there. So the King Oyster card is it's an edible mushroom, and it's quite a substantial mushroom that's used to replace meat sometimes, and it can help to be, it's anti-inflammatory, it can, some people say it's got anti-cancer properties or reducing cholesterol. But I thought I'd read this card out because it's quite interesting. So it says the King Oyster mushroom is large and meaty. For this reason, it is often used as a substitute for meat in meals. It is thick and full-bodied, with many health benefits. In drawing the King Oyster card, you are being called to look at where you can substitute something you currently use for something that will give you more value. Where can you beef something up with an alternative? Is there another way to do something that will create more value in what you are doing? The King Oyster is about substance. There are many things you can use in place of others, and finding something with substance as well as relevance is key here. The king is indeed very big and can make a complete meal with a single mushroom. Show that you have substance. Show that you can stand alone because you are enough by yourself. Show that you have amazing qualities without the use of anything else. Stand in your power and be a leader. Look for quality and substance in everything you do and the people you choose to let into your life. Substance is about giving back. How can you help and focus on making something purposeful? How interesting. I want to almost say, how can you make your life more purposeful? How for you, not necessarily so much for others. How can you bring something into your life that's going to make you feel fed, is what I want to say. Now, obviously, you can take however this resonates with the card as I've just read it, but I feel like you need some substance for you to support you because you've kind of been doing and giving so much. You need to allow support and love and more into your life so that you've got the energy to lead or the energy to be substantial in life, so that you're not drained to the point of being flimsy. I hope that makes sense. Let me get you some more cards. What else is coming up for pile 3 this week, please? Foxglove friend. Juniper. Ooh, that is a very beautiful and mystical looking card. I'm going to have a quick look what that one is as well, because I don't know Juniper so well. So, this is an excellent time to investigate any form of psychic work that you feel drawn to, provided that you are acting with the best of intentions for everyone concerned and that you ensure that you are physically protected. This is interesting. So maybe part of the more substance that you're going to bring in is to stop focusing on the mental, to stop focusing on physical needs in the 3D world, but to bring in more fun so that your soul becomes more alive, to bring in the spiritual aspects, to feed your soul, Foxglove friend, because it's an important part of life. We can live in the normal day-to-day element of life. We can apply our brain to all sorts of things, but we need to feed the creative element of who we are. We need to feed the heart element of who we are for us, for ourselves. So you may want to do a meditation, or you may want to do some card reading, different things like that. This is in the week ahead, obviously, and how you need to. And there's something about, power and healing. It's about feeding yourself up, but by doing that in where you're doing it with fun and you're not kind of having to keep being of service to others so much. Let's get you some advice cards. Try regardless of outcome. Okay, so you might need to give some... Yeah, all right then. Maybe that's to do with what I've just said, to do with creativity and the spiritual elements. Just have a go with stuff. It doesn't matter if you're any good or not good or amazing at something. Do it without thinking of how it's going to look or seem. In the end, just do it for fun. I'm not the best cook in the world, pile 3, but every now and again I like to have a little dabble at either baking something or making something that I haven't made before. And sometimes I'll spend hours in the kitchen just once in a while having a go at, doing something from a recipe. And in the end, if it turns out and it's not that great, you're like, oh no. But actually, sometimes the process of going through that creation can be so calming and so bring you back to center, and I'll put an audio book on while I'm doing it, and just the process itself has actually given a lot. We spend a lot of time in this um, generation, if you like, focusing on what the outcome of something is. We've got to, everything we do has got to have an outcome. It's got to either increase our health, or it's got to provide financial benefits, or it's got to look really good when we've done it. But actually, the doing of something it can be really good for your soul. You get to choose. Yes, feel empowered, Foxglove friend, to make choices about what you need this week, not necessarily what everybody else needs or what you should be doing, but you can make choices about what you would like to do or like to be. Gratitude is an amazing healer. So we've got healing twice here. Just be grateful for what's around you, and it will lift your heart so that you've got more laughter. I want another card. Let's see. Why is this happening for you this week, Foxglove friends? Ten of Swords. Maybe you've felt like a bit unappreciated, or people have said things behind your back that hasn't felt so good, or people haven't been as kind to you as you thought they would have been, or maybe they've not been as maybe they've not valued you as much as you thought they might have done, and it's possibly got you a little bit down, feeling like, you know, isolated maybe in some ways, that you felt a bit alone because you've tried to do all these things and realised that you're not actually getting as much reward from it or as much appreciation from it as you should be doing. So it's time to invest in you and the fun in life and what you're getting out of life and the spiritual element of who you are more, Foxglove friend. Let me see, why is this happening for you this week? Two of Pentacles. I think probably because you've been juggling so much, it's time to stop juggling everything and focus on you a little bit, my Foxglove friend. I'm going to get you one more card. Oops. So how are you finding things that feed your soul this week? That is, I think, what needs to be focused on. What do I want here? This one. Renewal of peace. Wow, look at that. Yes, that's what you need to find this week, Foxglove friend. A renewal of peace. And what's lovely is these are the bluebells, and we're just about to get to where the bluebells are coming out in the northern hemisphere, and all the little animals are starting to come out. But I think there's a few elements here of recognising the child within you that needs to be loved and cared for and nurtured, and to have fun and to be creative, and to enjoy the animals in your life, and all of nature around you, and to rest easy. And this is kind of what's going on this week. It's time for you to have that peace within you and to have that joy, and you can choose to do that. You just need to let go of the dynamics that you were once in, because we've got the death and rebirth card. Let go of dynamics that you've been engaging in. Let go of the shoulds, the musts, the have tos, and no matter what you're doing, choose to enjoy each moment. Choose to enjoy newness of things, to have a little go at different things. Allow yourself to do what feels good for you without having to juggle all the stuff and maybe be responsible for things, so many things, if that resonates for you. Foxglove friend, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely week. It feels like you should have a lovely week. You just need to choose to do so without feeling guilty or whatever about it. You are perfectly entitled to enjoy this life just as much as anybody else, Foxglove friend, and to find peace within it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Goodbye.